Hello, students, and welcome to this Lumino Tough Enough series where I am bringing the sixth question of May 2026. So, in this series, I'm going to solve multiple questions from IB, MYP, and DP. So, right now, I'm doing the MYP portion, the last year questions I'm trying to solve here. And I think we already have two videos. We had already did two questions before this in the previous weeks. Now this is the question number 6, which is of 10 marks. Now let us not waste time and let us get into this question, and let me tell you how to answer this. Now a student uses a spring to launch metal ball of varying mass m. Each time the ball is launched, it has the same momentum. The student launches the ball horizontally and measures the horizontal distance r to which the ball hits the floor. Right now, here he is varying the mass and has the same momentum. And this time, the person measures the distance r where the ball hits the floor. Right now, state a research question for this investigation. Now, obviously, you know that the research question should connect IV and DV. The research question should be connecting IV and DV. So it asks, how does the mass of the metal ball affect the horizontal distance when the ball is launched with the same momentum from the same height? So that is going to be your research question. Now let me just put my research question here. Let me just, yeah. How does the mass of a metal ball affect the horizontal distance, CC my IV, with my dV, while traveled when the ball is launched with the same momentum from the same height? So I'm keeping my CVs also in my research question. Outline why H needs to be controlled in this investigation. Now they are asking here why H has to be controlled. The height from which the mass is propelled has to be controlled. It is because height affects the time of flight. If the height changes, then the ball will have different time of flight, right? It's because of time of flight, because height height affects the time of flight, right? So you need to say that the height affects the time of flight. Okay, and when time of flight is affected, remember it's 2 marks. You have to get the 2 marks, right? So this will carry 1 mark for you. And once the height is affected, if height is affected, it will change the horizontal distance, and that is going to be the another 1 mark. So these two things you need to be including in your answer. Two things, okay? And once this, if this happens, it won't be fair result. To make it fair, you need to do it, right? The idea is to make it fair result. So I have to keep my height controlled because height changes the time of flight, and time of flight will change the h value, and that is the idea behind this answer. Now question part 6c, state one safety precaution the student must take while carrying out the investigation. Now you have to write like the landing area should be clear, you have to secure the launcher, and you should not have people standing in front of the launcher, right? So those kind of simple safety precaution. Remember, we are dealing with a metal ball, isn't it? It's saying it's metal ball of varying mass, and of course it's propelled with the help of spring. So the spring can create momentum, and it can create a velocity, and this can affect if it's hit by us. And second thing, the landing area should be clear. It should not have any other sort of things which can get damaged. So all those things can come under this safety precaution here. So you can write this. Now the student gathers the following data, calculate the missing average horizontal value. Now remember, your IV is the mass and the distances are the trial, which is taken in centimeter, and they are expecting you to take an average here. So you see 246 is an average of first trial, 175 is the average of second trial, 130 is the average of third trial, and 100 is the average of fourth trial. So for 300 also you need to take an average, and it comes around 84. Now you should not mention centimeter here because centimeter is already mentioned on top. And of course you have to show your working, and you should be good enough to show the working. 85 plus 80 plus 87, whole thing divided by 3. Okay. Now outline why multiple trials were performed and why this would lead to more reliable result. Now, doing multiple trial reduces the error, the random error. Okay. So you should say it reduces the random error. Doing multiple trial reduces the random error and increases the reliability. 2 marks, right? You need to show two things. Reduces the random error, okay, and as the random error is reduced, it increases the reliability of this experiment, which is very much important, right? Now 6F, which is going to be 3 marks. Student A says ball with less mass will travel greater distance as they have less weight and will stay in the air for a longer period of time. The ball B with less mass has greater velocity, which means they will travel to a greater horizontal distance. Evaluate which student uses the correct reasoning. Assume that the air resistance is negligible for both. Now, talking about student A, remember we kept the height constant for some reason, right? We kept the height constant because it will affect the time of flight. So if the height is constant, students, the time of flight is constant. You have done that in 6B already. But what does the student A say? Greater distances traveled because less weight will stay longer in air. So it will stay in air for a longer time period. That means it is obviously wrong. Okay. Student A is wrong. So now let me bring my discussion. Student B is right. Okay. Ball with less mass will have greater velocity and then it is able to travel a greater horizontal distance. And that's the correct evaluation. Okay. Now you will write student B is right. Right. Student B is right here, which will fetch you 1 mark. Okay. Now second mark, you have to, for second mark, you have to answer P is equal to MV. Why student B is right? So when M is less, V is greater. Now this you have to write. I'm not writing everything here. When your momentum is constant and when your mass is less, your velocity is greater, and that will fetch you 1 mark. And the third mark you have to explain why student P is wrong, because for our discussion time period will be same. That's how you're going to get the marks for the third mark, right? Okay, so now this is how you get the answer, and if you submit this, you are going to get the answers here. Now students, you can find this HTML in my free course. If you wish to have this HTML and do this by yourself, you can find this in the free course. I have put the link for the free course in the description. You can go there and you can download it. And this free course, of course, you can use for your benefit. So with this, I will end this particular question, students. So please do subscribe for this channel to know more and more series on DP and MYP questions. So with that, I'll end this session. We will see you in the next session. Bye, students.